As we continue to move along here on ShowBlitz, of course, yours truly, Charles Prodigy Richey. It is once again, like I said, Super Wild Card weekend. We're going to the first round of matchups. We're going to be going to the Saturday night previews. Beginning with the very first game tomorrow, which kicks off at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, which you can watch on Fox and, of course, Fox Deportes. It will be the San Francisco 49ers with the NFC Conference's second best records. They go 13-4. They'll be hosting the Seattle Seahawks, who make it as the wild card. Pete Carroll, who makes it into the playoffs without Russell Wilson for the first time since 2010. Now, remember, that was the year the Seattle Seahawks had a losing record, but they were able to host the defending Super Bowl champion New Orleans Saints and knock them out of the first round. As virtually being the NFC West champions, Seattle Seahawks were entitled to a home game, which is currently under the format. If you're a division winner against a wild card team, you're granted a home playoff game. Well, it's going to be in San Francisco 49ers and Santa Clara at Levi Stadium. Currently, right now, the San Francisco 49ers, they enter tomorrow's game as 6.5-point favorites, according to OddsShark. This season, they have swept the NFC West for the first time in over 25 years. 1997 was the season they did it in, and also for the first time in 20 years since 2002 under the new current division format, which has been realigned since then. Now, remember, back in 1997, it was a three-division format, whereas the NFC Central, NFC East, and NFC West. And remember, beginning in 2002, that's when they broke it up into four divisions, which you see right now, which is pretty much four teams per division as we look at it. And right now, San Francisco 49ers are looking to have the third time be a charm against the Seahawks. Now, remember, prior to this, the San Francisco 49ers did have a four-game losing streak to the Seattle Seahawks since losing the Super Bowl to the Kansas City Chiefs, getting swept in back-to-back years since that point. But right now, I mean, this is a team that's a well-oiled machine right now, San Francisco 49ers, as they have done a lot this year. Of course, I mean, when you look at under GM John Lynch, everything that they've just been able to manage right now, the 49ers, when you just look at how they've been able to do the moves they were making too. I mean, when you look at one of the biggest things too, I mean, for them, I mean, one of the biggest moves that they had, which is around the middle of October, the San Francisco 49ers, they acquired from the Carolina Panthers was Christian McCaffrey. As we looked at it, and where they set multiple picks right here, right now, for that, the 49ers right now. And the details of the trade, the Carolina Panthers received a second and third and fourth round picks in 2023. So 3 picks in this coming year's draft. Once again, the second, third, and fourth round, as well as a fifth round selection in 2024 right now. As we look at go into this go around right here. I mean, it's definitely been worth the gamble right now. San Francisco 49ers seem like they've been betting the house this year as we look at it. And for this year, I mean, this is a team right now who I predicted since making this move to be a very well Super Bowl contender. I mean, remember, they started off the season with Trey Lance, who many expected was going to be Jimmy Garoppolo's replacement, but instead he suffered a season-ending right ankle injury back in their home opener versus Seahawks. They start off the season in Chicago against the Bears, only lose that game. I think it was 19-10. I mean, ever since then, I mean, you look at the 49ers season. I mean, what they've been able to do all year in their own regard too. I mean, a team who's just been clicking on all cylinders right now. I mean, this, for example, the Philadelphia Eagles, who led this year in turnover ratio, they were number one in that category until the San Francisco 49ers swept in and took advantage of that right now. The 49ers right now, to their credit, for this season, they are for this year, they are plus 13, which is number one in the National Football League right there, which includes 30 takeaways on defense and 17 turnovers surrendered by the offense. And you look at the 49ers right there, too. I mean, everything that they've just been able to do. I mean, as far as like point differential, I mean, just how dominating this team has been this year. I mean, just everything about them, I mean, just screams a possible threat. And I'm not sure about the Philadelphia Eagles, but I mean, when you look at their differential, I mean, basically, they are number one in point differential at plus 173, which is insane right here. And they've just been overcoming a lot of injuries. I mean, then of course you had Jimmy Garoppolo, who back during against the Miami Dolphins here, back in week 13 in the first quarter, had to leave the game with a foot injury, which proved to be season ending right there. So in comes here Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, who comes out right now as the very last pick of this year's draft, Mr. Irrelevant, who came out of Iowa State. Right now, I mean, ever since like his debut as a starter, beginning with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, this guy's thrown 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I mean, so far. I mean, and then aside from the games that he didn't start, I mean, that's 13 to 4 interception touchdown to interception ratio. I mean, he has a QB rating of 107, 66 QBR. Has only been sacked 11 times in 9 games. He started 5 games. This team is red smoking hot. No pun intended. I mean, behind a great defense. I mean, you look at everything right now. I mean, since then, the 49ers who find themselves in a similar position last year where they had to face the Rams 3 times. This year, they'll be hosting the Seahawks. Now, the 49ers are going to try and avoid repeating history and where they swept the Rams in the regular season, only to lose to them in the NFC Championship game. Now, remember, the 49ers were a wild card team last year, so they had to go on the road 3 rounds before losing to the eventual Super Bowl champion LA Rams right there. And that was a team who they had to beat to get into the playoffs back in Week 18 a year ago. Made the playoffs. Many people were expecting them to be the hot team to go into the Super Bowl, tearing down the LA Rams. Put that to bed after beating them in the NFC Championship game. LA Rams would go on to be the second team to not only host a Super Bowl in their stadium, but to win it back-to-back years, which was insanely unheard of. I mean, since the Bucks did it back in their first year right now. So as we look at right now, this year, by the way, there will be no such thing as is going to be in Arizona this year, University of Phoenix. There will be no home team, so we'll be going back to normalcy this season. And which, by the way, too, the 49ers and Seahawks, second time that these two teams will be meeting in the playoffs. Last time these two teams met was, of course, the infamous NFC Championship game where Richard Sherman smack talked into the camera with Clifford Thompson, I believe it was, at the end of the game, and just saying like how he was one of the best corners in the game. You remember that, how that went down, how that garnished. I mean, that got a lot of attention right there. Some people mixed emotions right there. Of course, Colin Kaepernick, who was hoping to take his team to back-to-back Super Bowls behind Jim Harbaugh and a good defense. Similar situation right now. This time his shoe's on the other foot. The Seahawks, they do lead the all-time series, which includes regular and postseason, 30-19. And Kyle Shanahan going into preparation for this game says teams know each other pretty well. You don't get to surprise teams much in situations like this, according to Shanahan. That's how it's been with us in Seattle for a number of years. Usually, every time we play, it comes down to the wire. No argument there. And one of the guys too that'll be staying out right now too, who's a potential defense player of the year candidate. Yeah, on the edge, right defensive end Nick Bosa, who currently leads the league with 18 and a half sacks and 48 QB hits. Seattle Seahawks has not been shy about having a good defense in their own right as we look at it for right now. Seattle Seahawks are a team to be reckoned with. I mean, Pete Carroll has just proven he could win with just about anybody. It's just a true testament of what a coach he is. And currently, right now, I mean, their defense still got ways to go. But I tell you one thing though, too, they are ninth in the league as far as like forcing takeaways. They have had 12 interceptions along with 5 fumble recoveries for a total of 17 takeaways on the defense. They're +2 in turnover ratio right now as it stands for that. And here we go. I mean, it's definitely going to be an interesting game right here. I think to kick off the wild card weekend, I think it's definitely be one. I know these matchups tend to be a little bit funky going in here. They are 14th in turnover ratio with +2, and like I said, the 49ers are number one with +13. And the only question is right now, will the inexperience of Brock Purdy will he finally hit that valley? Will that get exposed in this match right now? I gotta believe right now. I mean, listen, when you're riding a hot streak like this, especially the 49ers, what they've been doing, this team right now, who's hell bent not only getting back to the Super Bowl, but winning it this time, especially for Kyle Shanahan. He does not want to live a reputation for the rest of his coaching career that he blew a game by refusing not to run the ball when he was offense coordinator with the Falcons' 25-point lead, and of course a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter of Super Bowl 54 versus Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, this time around, right now, I mean, look at everything they've been able to do here. 10-game winning streak right now. That's been since they last when they started when they faced the Rams in Los Angeles back in October 30th, and they have just been clicking out all cylinders since then. So you take a look at it right now. Christian McCaffrey, like I mentioned, one of the golden gooses here on this team, who has accumulated 1,210 yards of scrimmage, which includes 746 yards off 159 carries for 4.7 yards per attempt and 6 touchdowns, which includes 52 receptions, 464 yards with 4 touchdowns. That is definitely going to be something to pay attention to right there. And I think the 49ers right now. But as we look at key matchup going to this game, if you're going to look at, it will be Brock Purdy versus right cornerback of the Seattle Seahawks, Tyreek Woolen. Why is that? Tyreek is tied with the most interceptions with 6 this year, and he was also fourth with 16 passes defensed, as well as fourth in pick sixes. He's only got one this season right there. I think if anything for the Seattle Seahawks to give them any fighting chance right there, it's going to be have to be weighing those turnovers right there for this game because I gotta believe right now the world is waiting to see if they're able to make a mistake in that, and if they could like find a way to do that. But whenever the Seattle Seahawks have been winning the turnover battle this year, I mean, when we look at it, for the most part, they are for this year. Seattle Seahawks who are trying to win this under Pete Carroll, secure a phenomenal win right there when winning the turnover. That usually translates into a lot of wins here. They're 5-3 this year when winning the turnover ratio. So again, I mean, I think that's going to be the key matchup for this game. We'll see with the 49ers if they're able to hang on and win this game right now. 'Cause remember, you also got the other matchups too. That should be the first game to kick off the playoff Super Wild Card weekend. You also have two of the other NFC games remaining will be the Vikings hosting the Giants, which will be tomorrow. Which would be on Sunday afternoon, late 3 o'clock game. And then, of course, the last one of the week again will be the Bucks hosting the Cowboys right here. So we'll see how that will work out for the most part. As the San Francisco 49ers, they are the number 2 seed going into this. Of course, you got the Vikings, like I said, they're hosting the New York Giants right now for the most part. So we'll see how this continues to match up. But anyway, go ahead and give me the 49ers. 49ers, they will win this game. We'll see who they meet in the next round. Remember, right now, the team that has the bye for this year going into that will be the Philadelphia Eagles. So more likely if the 49ers win this game, they'll be hosting their next game in the second round. They'll have a home game the following round. Now, let's see, should the Seattle Seahawks win this game, if the Seattle Seahawks win this game, they'll be punching their ticket to go to the Philadelphia Eagles. So right now, if the 49ers win, they'll have a home game in the next round because they are the number 2 seed. And then the Seattle Seahawks, they win this game, they'll be going out of Philadelphia. Go ahead and give me the San Francisco 49ers in this game. As we look at the past matchups for this year with the San Francisco 49ers, they have met 3 times. There's always been close games, but this year, for whatever reason, it's rarely been close. Only one of the games, so this was in Seattle, where it was decided by 1-score game, 21-13. The very first meeting this season, they won 27-7. So we'll see if the Seattle Seahawks could snap a 2-game losing streak. So give me the San Francisco 49ers at home in this game. I am going to go in this game for this one as we look at it. Give me the San Francisco 49ers over the Seattle Seahawks 28-17. That'll be my prediction.
Hey, you blink, I'll cut your eyelids off. Don't you blink. Let's go.